Shazam!
And just like that, we're back. Perfect timing there, Kahuna. Welcome, everybody. It's live from Junkie Nation. It's Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. We certainly did. We're enjoying. Finally, the weather has broken up here in Michigan, and it's nice. It's warm. It's hot. Like in Daidakuji's house, it's so hot that his wife is kind of like shedding her skin, in so to speak. Anyway, so who we got today? We got the great Daidakuji checking in. What's up, there, brother?
Hey there, everybody. How you guys doing?
Got the great we got the big Kahuna checking in. What's up, man?
That be me.
That'd be
What up,
you.
though?
What's up? And we got GQ checking in. What's going on, man?
Hey everyone.
We're gonna keep it short and sweet, nice and compact, and we're gonna get to business. And first order of business is we're talking about box office. Now we know we're super echoey. Bianca says, "I don't know what to say about that." But thank you for checking in, darling, and thank you for that. I don't know if it's you or if it's us. Hopefully, it gets better. In any case, we're going to talk about the Jungle Book. And the Jungle Book obviously did really well, but what didn't do so well is our favorite movie that people love to kick while they are down. Uh, and that's Batman vs Superman. It didn't even generate $9 million this weekend in the box office. I think it came in a distant fourth. GQ, I know how much you love kicking people while they're down. What's your 2 cents on what's going on with Batman vs Superman, and will it make that $1 billion threshold before the month is out?
In my opinion, no, because I think it's sitting right now at 827
That's
or
correct,
something
sir.
like that, 828.
That's correct.
So you figure they've still got another 172 million to go. If you're only making 9 million over the weekend, and then I think another 15 million was made overseas. If that's your pace, you're not going to make it in 12 days. It's not going to happen. So unfortunately, yeah, everybody that said, "Oh, it's going to make $1 billion for the end of the month," easy, come and bow down and take your comeuppance, because we already knew that this, like, when you release a movie worldwide at the same time and it's as panned as that movie was, it's going to slow down real quick, and it did, and it's not going to make $1 billion. And I'm going to dance as soon as May 1st comes.
Okay. Kahuna, do you think that it will make $1 billion ever in its theatrical run, or will it just kind of peter out and come up short? I know how you
Um,
love talking about this movie too. I know you love it.
I hate this movie now. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna try to pull off that bullcrap with the extended cut.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the only way they might hit $1 billion, because I'm sure there's still some people out there that will go see it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only way I can think of that hit $1 billion, is if they do that.
Uh-huh.
But with the regular stuff, no. I mean, like you said, it didn't do what, 9 million. You said over the weekend.
It didn't even do 9 million this weekend.
Yeah, so stick a fork
Oh,
in it,
actually,
because
it just did over 9 million. Just over
yeah,
9 million.
yeah, I don't see it, especially with Civil War on the horizon.
But I'm telling you, man, that was a huge drop it took this weekend. 61% from the previous weekend was at 23. It's only at 9 now, and it's only going to get worse. As you said, Daidakuji, and you jump in. As you said, and as I've said before, the summer movies are coming, so it's just going to get less and less. What do you think, sir? Do you think it's going to break $1 billion? It doesn't even need to at this point.
You funny.
Well done.
Like seriously. I mean, the word has spread, and it's way too thick, if you want to say, to swim in. They're not going nowhere. They're stuck. They're done. Game over.
Stick a fork in them.
Yeah, they're way past done. Because, like, I mean, I don't know. I can't. I'm tired of talking about the movie myself, and as much I didn't feel as disappointed with it as I was with Man of Steel, but that still doesn't mean it was a great movie. I just whatever. DC still hasn't done anything for me.
Okay. Did anybody go see anything this weekend? How was Jungle Book? Bianca, I know you saw it. Was it great? We'll wait for her to chime in. But did anybody go see Jungle Book this weekend? I know GQ on Friday when we were talking to him, he kind of chimed in at the last minute before we went off the air on Friday. He tortured himself with a free ticket seeing Batman vs Superman once again, but it got no money from him. So yeah. So anyway, I know. I wish our two favorite people were here so we could kind of put the speed bag to their faces about this thing. But
They're
all
not
in
going
due
to show
time.
up.
No,
They're
not
not
going
going
to
to show up. They're going to sit back and basically forget all about them saying, "Oh, this movie's easily going to make $1 billion." Blah blah blah. It's going to do it in 3 weeks. Blah blah blah. And here we are about to hit the end of it. No, not going to happen. And again, going back to what I've always said, you spend that much money up front making the movie and that much front money marketing it, and then you still got to pay the theaters back. This movie is not going to really truly make a huge profit like it needs to.
No, sir.
This is not a tent. This is not a tentpole movie. It's supposed to be a tentpole movie, and it's not.
You know what? Let's save that argument for another day. Because I know that could be argued to death from some certain standpoints, but I'll just leave it at this. It has failed, in my opinion. Moving right along. How about the news that where were we? Oh,
Philip.
Jon Favreau is coming
What's up,
back.
everybody?
Hey, look who's checking in from the red zone. It's Philip
Yeah,
2.0. What's up, brother? I didn't know
nothing
you were
much. Taking a quick break.
okay. Taking a quick break. So
Uh,
let's get his opinion real quick, and
How may I help you?
I don't know when he might have to cut out. Say hello to everybody in Target Land over there. But in any case, what do you think of the news that Batman vs Superman only made $9 million this weekend? That's it, $9 million.
Whatever. I don't mean making money, but that still mean it wasn't a good movie. Still
Exactly.
terrible. I mean, that's
Exactly.
not going to change anything.
Will it
Yes,
break?
they use that. Listen,
Will,
they can use that money to make a change or get rid of Warner Brothers or something. I don't know.
let me ask you this: will it break $1 billion before the month is out?
I mean, sorry. I mean, it could, but then it's not going to be as it was with Avengers when they made the $1 billion. Okay, made $1 billion. So what? Whatever. Move on. I don't
If
think nobody's going. I don't think it's going to be amazing like how it was with Avengers.
if you could see my face right now, you really think it's gonna break $1 billion? Oh my
Yeah.
god!
I mean, if it does, whatever.
Philip, it has 12 days to make $172 million.
Oh, no, it's not. Never mind.
Okay.
Skip that.
Well, then moving on to some other news that you may or may not know, and the other guys can kind of chime in and talk about. Jon Favreau will be coming back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe as an executive producer for the Russo brothers directed Avengers: Infinity War. Is that good news, great
Okay.
news, or do you think they could do better
I think
on
it's
their own?
good. That's good news. Yeah, they need more the merrier. Why not? As long as don't let what's my man name that did Iron Man 3, Shane Black.
Shane
As long as he
Black?
don't touch
Shane Black.
Yeah.
As long as he don't touch no more Marvel properties, I'm okay with Favreau doing some Marvel stuff again.
Okay.
I
Any
mean,
other comments, guys?
hell, he started it all.
Yeah, he helped. He did help kick it off. Dadakuji Kahuna. Any other comments about Favreau coming back? Would you wish him to do another movie? I heard some
It sounds good. I mean, I was happy with the Russo brothers,
very.
but with the addition with Favreau, I think it'll be good.
I personally can't see how it can't be good. I mean, not all the Marvel movies to some people were really, really good. I personally think they've always been, and I hate to freaking, keep mentioning this, the comparison to the two between DC and Marvel, but even if he didn't come back, I'm pretty sure, and all he's doing is giving money and, outside direction, I guess, because he's giving the money. He says, this is what I want to happen. As long as he doesn't try to put giant spiders in the damn movie because he can, then, and giant spiders for everybody out there doesn't necessarily mean giant spiders. It just means something that's dumb as shit that shouldn't go there just because you want it. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool. I think it's going to be pretty awesome to have him back in the fold.
I
Some people,
personally,
You go ahead.
Because Favreau is good, man. Dude is a good director. He just did Jungle Book, obviously, which I'm sure is making Disney a ton of money, or is going to make Disney a ton of money. So they have no problem with him. And again, like Dr. Kuchi said, executive producers usually just kind of put some money in and give some suggestions, as we've already seen, can handle Marvel properties and handle a lot of heroes on screen at the same time. So, dude, the more backing and the more of a think tank they got going on for Infinity War, the merrier.
Indeed. So on to some more news. We've seen some pics of Danny Rand on the set of Iron Fist. I don't know if you guys got to see them yet. But my man's looking like a homeless hobo. Danny Rand, the happy hobo. That's pretty much what he looks like right now. And Dr. Kuji was saying that why isn't Luke Cage why isn't Iron Fist in the Luke Cage show? And the simple reason for that is that Luke Cage is already done. Iron Fist is just starting. So and he just got cast not too long ago. So for him to not be in the show, it kind of makes sense. But I'm all pretty. Go ahead.
Look, I got break in there because I still don't think it makes sense because you look at Jessica Jones. And Luke Cage was in Jessica Jones. He wasn't a prominent character, but he was there to set stuff up. That's what I'm talking about. Just
I understand that.
Help set stuff up.
No, I understand that, but
so you saying, the difference is better with a. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh well, Philip 2.0. I think you need to clear something up. A lot of people in the chat seem to think, and this was kind of started by Agent 21D. He says you catching up on Netflix in the toilet at Target. Is that true?
No, I'm not.
That where you hanging out in your break? You in your break room?
I'm in the break room. I'm in the break room, buddy.
You're in the break room. Okay, all right. As long as you're in the break room, okay. But no. What I was gonna say is that to answer your question, the reason why Luke Cage was in Jessica Jones is because he was actually cast to be in Jessica Jones before he got his own show. Now, Iron Fist just got cast last month. Luke Cage had been filming for months before that. So that's why he's not in there.
Well, whatever. It doesn't come out.
Not only that, plus Iron Fist originally wasn't even going to be a series until they decided to change their mind. Remember, Iron Fist was on the block. So,
yeah.
Oh, we might not do it. So at that point, if you're not even going to use the character, there was no real point in trying to shoehorn him into another, character's thing, and then it not end up going anywhere.
Okay. Some other news. The PS 4.5 is supposed to be coming out later, and I guess there's a little concern about whether it's gonna. Oh no, actually, even better news, and it's not exactly great news from the world of DC, and then we can move on to that whatever we watched today. The report says that the Batman Return to Arkham anthology is getting ready to go on sale for consoles tomorrow. This is the remastered version of all the Arkham games coming to PS4, so on and so forth. Why are they doing this? Didn't they just... this is just... I'm not looking forward to this. They're doing it too soon. They should have waited like another year or so.
Just a little update on that. It's not coming out tomorrow. The pre-orders are going live tomorrow.
I see. Uh-huh.
Supposedly coming out June 10th. But the reason why they're doing this is because, number one, it's going to look better. It's the HD version of an HD game. So I'm assuming it's going to be running at a smoother frame rate and higher resolution because PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, if they weren't 1080p, which there's a possibility, and I don't have it. Actually, I might have it behind me. Whatever. Was running at 720p, so this time it'll be running at 1080. That's first off, but they want to make more money. That's all, because they know people are going to buy it again.
Have a good show.
All right, sir. See you.
Easy, sir.
Yep.
I think another issue with it is you're probably seeing that, because I don't know. Hold on, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't June 10th the same day that Batman Superman comes out on Blu-ray, or was that July 10th?
July.
Okay. I thought it was another way for them to try to make a little bit more money, try to hit that billion
They said
Yeah.
Origins
best
is
they
not
could.
part of it though.
Yeah, they're not
Oh
hitting
well,
that.
that's just pointless. That's just pointless then. So you're only getting the first 2 games.
Yeah, you only get the first 2, and yeah, Origins is not part of it. So
And I'm sure they didn't add any extra content to make it worth your while.
they probably will. It's probably going to be like the Game of the Year edition with everything in it,
But
and
I already have that. I mean,
yeah,
like
most definitely
extra.
do.
Yeah.
You don't have it running at 1080p at 60 frames a second. It's probably running at 60 frames, but
No,
I got
see,
Origins in my hand, and
yeah.
Origins runs. Granted, it's not being included. It only runs at 720. So I'm not too sure about the other ones because the other ones I have for Xbox 360. So I don't know if the PlayStation 3 version is running. The
I can go
Xbox
look.
360. Yeah, the Xbox 360 one supposedly runs at 1080p. But that's why they're doing it, just so you can get like the best version.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, they're doing it for money for sure. But
Yeah.
Yep, 720
Yeah.
for the original one. Let's see here. Nope. Yeah, you're right. That's gonna be annoying.
Yeah, that's.
Oh well, whatever.
I'm pretty sure that's the reason why they're freaking doing it, is just so you get the optimal version. And part of me, like, because I really like the Arkham series. I haven't finished Origins yet, and people tell me that Origins is not as good as the other one. Personally, I don't see that how it's not much
Yeah.
different. To me, it feels the same. I don't get the
I thought Origins was pretty decent. I thought some of the stuff
Yeah.
in there was really good. I also haven't finished Origins.
Origins was glitchy.
Oh, is that
glitchy.
what it
Origins was
was?
glitchy. That
I
was the
guess
main complaint. Yeah, that was the main complaint.
I wonder if
in
they
what
fixed
what
that when you
areas?
got
Because I don't know. I guess I never experienced any glitches. Maybe it's
neither.
just
No,
I
it
didn't play it
just
enough.
it was a situation where there was a very very big bad game like breaking glitch that could happen, and it wasn't game breaking in the sense that if you couldn't find a way out of it or you couldn't reload your save, but it was just it was one of those really really bad, like, dude, you guys didn't game test enough, and they patched it out, but it was pissing a lot of people off because it happened to a lot of people. Like, you would just start falling endlessly.
Good.
So it's like, okay.
Would that be worse
know-
than Arkham Knight?
No, Arkham Knight, dude. I'm sorry, that was a fiasco.
Really?
Arkham Knight was so many just like, why in the world would you guys hype this game for 2 years and you just don't deliver? Matter of fact, it goes back to Warner Brothers' track record right now. They hyped that movie for 2 years, didn't really deliver.
Yeah, Batman vs Superman was supposed to come out last year, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Could you imagine if it did with all the stuff they wanted to put in it?
Oh, goodness. So you telling me, because I got the Arkham Knight sitting up there, still in the cellophane, I should just leave it in the cellophane?
No, you can play it. Like I said, they patched most of the stuff that was problematic, but come on now. You know, when you got a AAA title, you're supposed to triple check, and re-triple check
Agreed.
before that mod comes out. And you could tell that they didn't.
Very much agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, excuse me.
So anyway, guys, let's go ahead. Let's move it on to that completely tragic thing that we watched today. That some of us watched today. The Supergirl season finale, which, in my honest opinion, should be, possibly be the series finale. Because, man, I'm telling you, I was a champion of this. I was a champion of this show for a while. But I cannot ignore that thing. It's written poorly. As far as all of the 5 DC shows, I think Gotham, Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl. That is the worst written of the 5, without question. I'm sorry, man. I mean, just some of the stuff in there in these past couple of episodes just make you, huh? What are they doing? I mean, she can't fly into space. She'll lose all thrust and stuff like that. She can't hold her breath in space. She'll pass out as soon as she leaves out of space. Superman is. Let's not go there. I mean, that Superman thing was really pissing me off today. The whole Myriad thing gets kind of wrapped up so Like she defeats the effects so quickly with like it must be the hokiest,
Oh my
cheesiest.
god, the Hope speech.
The hope speech was, oh my god, are you kidding me with that? Oh, it was so bad. Even me that can overlook a lot of that stuff. I can't do it. It was just really really bad. Even my
I
daughters were
mean,
watching it with us.
Myriad was they were hyping Myriad up to be this like just powerful thing,
Super powerful.
like this ridiculous thing that was just
Hmm.
going to end everything,
It's like,
and it
oh
gets
yeah,
defeated by a freaking speech.
right. Let me do a speech real quick on hope to be better, hope to be a hero, hope that things will be. You will see your loved ones again. What? Get out of here with
Do
that,
you
man.
know what that's called? Besides bad writing, do you know what that's called?
No,
It's
sir. Why
called
don't you
not
fill
having.
us in?
It's called not having a game plan.
Yep.
That's what happens when you have a book or a story that nobody expected to take off. Now
Hmm.
you have to finish it. It's like, oh, I didn't really think of how we were going to write an ending. I didn't expect us to get past episode 5.
That's bad. That's really bad.
So yeah, so it's like you're running into that. See, doesn't give up this hope trip because I'm like, dude, stop saying the S stands for hope.
Mm.
That's really stupid. Stop trying to bring hope into everything because all of your other stuff is dark, dismal, and dank. So
Hmm.
stop trying to jump on this hope bandwagon and suddenly like, oh, every hero is so full of fervor to like inspire people. No, they're not. Not in the way you guys have been telling your stories lately.
Nope.
So the Flash is the only one that gets to use that one. That's it. Flash is like the only one that kind of carries that and it worked.
Hmm.
So they need to kind of stop it.
Which honestly is pretty sad, seeing as how the Superman family is supposed to be the paragons of inspiration, the examples that everybody kind of follows, but it's just really bad writing. Daido Kuji, you kind of said that you checked out on this show kind of when the pilot came on, and it just hasn't been that good. It's just been it just I'm sorry, man. I'm not seeing a second season. Do you?
No, well, dude, I watched 2 episodes. I watched the pilot, and it was an okay beginning. Gives you some kind of understanding why she's there and why she decided to do what she did. Okay, what have you. I watched the Flash episode. I was extremely disappointed because not only did they have just some ordinary firefighters taking out the main villains, they didn't do anything to just have a cohesive story. All right, oh, the Flash is here. I don't know how I got here, but I hope I can get back.
Yep.
Oh, since you're here, why don't we hang out and have some ice cream? Come on. I really think the writing is bad, not because it's bad and they don't know where to go. And no. Excuse me. That's probably the number one reason they don't know where to go. But they don't read the comics. I think somebody in the executive positions probably told the writers they have free will with this show. This is the character, and understand a little bit of the lore and go with it. But they didn't read any of the comics. Now, granted, I don't read Supergirl comics either, so I don't know how they are, how she's portrayed, what she does. And I'm not talking about Power Girl. I'm talking about straight up Supergirl. Maybe it's similar to the comics, and I'm the one that's speaking out the back of my ass. But granted that the show sucks, in my honest opinion, I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing. I mean, the Flash, I'm pretty sure the writers read the comics. Arrow, it's iffy if they read the comics because they read Batman comics and then just put freaking Arrow on it. And Legends of Tomorrow, I don't know if that got any comic anything at all. It's just its own thing.
It is its own
So,
thing. Yeah,
yeah,
completely
so
at this point.
Supergirl needs somebody to come in that has worked written
Yeah.
episodes that with Flash, because the Flash is pretty much lighthearted, but yet it's good and it's serious all at the same time. And this show looks like it's supposed to be a lighthearted show. They need to freaking keep it lighthearted, but bring it down a notch to the Flash's level where some things can be, serious and there's actual consequences to, things that happen. Because like you see that in the Flash, and it might be a better show. Season 2, I think the CW might save it because I don't believe CBS is
They
going to
might.
bring it.
Yeah, I don't see CBS bringing it back either, and that was a very good point. Um, the other thing I kind of wanted to bring up is it became apparent, like especially in the second half of this very short season, that they blew almost their entire effects budget really on John Jones. Because honestly, the wire work for the flying scenes and the flying segments did not get better. They might have even gotten worse. It just, I don't know. I thought the flying and the wire work in Lois and Clark was better than in this show, and that says a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
for real. I'm for real.
20-year-old show doing better effects.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. Maybe I need to do some more research. I mean, I was looking at IMDb just to see, who wrote the shows and
Mm-hmm.
see what else they've written. And I mean, I don't want to talk too much about it because, like I said, I didn't watch it, but the 2 episodes. So it is what it is. And will I ever catch it up? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. I got too much other stuff to watch.
Does Supergirl have different writers like the Flash does? Because I know for Flash they switch up writers a lot.
Yes,
I think they do.
most definitely.
Yes.
They got about 19 different writers.
I think
Only a few of them have worked on every episode.
Who's got 19 different writers? The Flash?
No, Supergirl.
Well, no wonder it's so disjointed.
They got series writing credits. There's 19 different writers. There's 2 people who worked on every episode. 3, 4. Wait, Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel, they're not writing.
No, they're dead.
They're the people that
dead.
created.
They did, but they got writing
of the
credits.
super.
So let's exclude them and say 17
Yeah.
different writers.
Yeah.
So there's 17 writers, and 3 people have been on every episode, and 1 has been on 18 episodes, and the rest of them only got 5 and 3 and 4 or whatever. So it looks like poop. Let's see what this woman's done. Her name is Ali Adler, and she's written 20 episodes. And what else has she done?
Of Supergirl?
Supergirl, Chuck, and something called Normal Wear.
Okay. There have been bad episodes of Chuck too.
She's written Glee.
Yeah. Go ahead, GQ.
Yeah, I for one would like to thank Dr. Kuji for talking out the back of his ass instead of the front of his ass, because that would be a very amazing feat. But I mean, again, it's obvious, like, because again, yes, the series can have a ton of different writers, but you usually have one person in charge, or maybe 2, that kind of guides everything of like, hey, this is the direction we're going in, though.
Mm-hmm.
So when you write, here's your parameters, stay in this lane, versus, okay, just kind of what you got this week. Okay, let's go with it. Yeah, that'll work. It's like, no, you gotta have some type of vision. I mean, come on now. There's certain things that just, like I said, I mean, what you guys are telling me, I only caught the tail end of the episode. From what you guys are telling me, like this sounds like Superman 3 level cheese.
Worse.
Not
I think it's
Superman
worse.
3 you're
worse.
not supposed to be that cheesy in 2016 with any of these superheroes. Honestly, they just need more Power Girl. That's what they need to do. They just need to just go ahead and just throw it out the window and just bring in a super sexy buxom blonde and be Power Girl and just do it that way. Go cheesecake.
Now, a few final thoughts before we put Supergirl to bed for the season. I'm not going to say the show is completely irredeemable. I think they have a few things that they have to work with. But they need to get new writers. They need someone that wants to take ownership of this show and give it a real clear direction of where they want to go with it. If CBS chooses to save it, the fact that it hasn't gotten a renewal order right to this day, when almost every other show on CBS has gotten one, doesn't bode well for it. Wills the CW pick it up? I don't know. I don't think it's in this wheelhouse. I think
Ken, sorry to break your concentration, but I was looking at another one of the writers that has written on all 20 episodes. This guy's name is Greg Berlanti, and he's known for
I know he is.
Green Lantern, the 2011 movie.
Yeah. Oh, well, see, that's it. You see.
But I mean, in his defense, he did write some episodes for Arrow and The Flash.
Dude, he's one of the show creators, man.
Yeah, but
yeah, he's one of the show creators of the entire Arrow universe.
I see that now. Arrow, he created that. Legends of Tomorrow, Riverdale, he's going to be writing for that.
So,
Creator,
in
creator
a
Flash.
way, I'm not going to put it on him because he probably was way too busy to really write the scripts. I put this on some of the others that kind of delivered
But he
these
wrote the
scripts.
screenplay for Green Lantern, dude.
Oh well, yeah. See, he's in my shit house for
Yeah,
that.
he's in charge basically in one form or another. As he's almost like essentially like you have a head writer. He's probably one of the head writers.
Hooper
So
Love
the
23.
problem
Putting in the
again,
spiders.
Hooper Love 23 brings up a very good point. He
probably.
said
I mean,
if they didn't pick up Constantine, they probably won't pick up Supergirl. Talking about
And that's
CW.
probably true.
Talking about CW. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, that's probably the case as well.
yeah.
here's the
'Cause-
thing, and this is where you obviously see that Warner is not playing it the smart way. You've got three major heroes. You got Flash, you got Supergirl, you got Arrow. Put them all on the CW and like put them not so much in like a power block. Get like middle of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Flash, Arrow, Supergirl. Boom. That way you're not putting them on the tail ends where like most shows go to die. You have like right in the middle of the week when most people can, devote a little bit of time to watch their shows. Keep them all at the same time, slot, all at 8 o'clock, not trying to go Supergirl versus Gotham, which is
stupid.
I understand it's two different networks, but it's dumb. It's still two Warner properties battling each other for seriously?
Yeah.
They would have been
And,
so
and
much
Gotham
better
is
just
Gotham
CW.
is so strong. Gotham is so strong in writing. Very strong.
Yeah.
Way stronger than this is. But any other final thoughts? Kahuna, you think it gets saved? Move to CW possibly?
I would like for it to be saved. I mean, like you said, me and you, I think we're both kind of champions for the show in the beginning, and it was pretty cool, with the whole mystery of Martian Manhunter until after the reveal. That's when it seems like it started really going downhill. Like all the little mystery that they did have and the storylines, everything just started kind of going, and
They kind of
I was
shot their
kind of
wad.
trying to,
They kind of shot their wad a little bit. Yeah.
I was kind of trying to keep hope alive.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well
let me
done.
get that. Let me get that.
Well
Yeah.
done. Well done.
But hopefully, either you got some different writers or something has to change. Put it that way. And it doesn't look good, like you said, for it not being renewed yet. Everything else has been renewed except for that. I don't know. I would like for CW to save it, but shit, they need to save Constantine before they save Supergirl.
Now, I'm not sure how many little girls or women are fans of this show. I think that might be the only saving grace. I think they're the only ones that can save this show because I don't see anybody else coming to its rescue. So anyway, let's move on to the main topic of the day, and obviously it's our animation day. And one of the things that we wanted to kind of talk about today was the state of Marvel. Movie-wise, Marvel is doing great. TV-wise, Marvel is doing excellent. Animation-wise, not so much. When you got shows like Guardians of the Galaxy, Ultimate Spider-Man, Web Warriors, or whatever they're calling it now, and Avengers Assemble. It's a far cry from when we were younger. I mean, I know we can wax poetically on some of the greatness of, or lack thereof, of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, or even the old Incredible Hulk TV series, or cartoon series. More recently, when we were kind of, in our really formative years, X-Men the animated series, Spider-Man the animated series. Of course, we also had our clunkers like Silver Surfer. Less said about that, the better. But just after we had that excellent Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, they take that off after, Disney buys Marvel. Cancel that, which was obviously a really good show, just like they canceled Superior Spider-Man. And then they give us Avengers Assemble, which is, in my opinion, a lesser show in every sense of the word. So let's talk about Marvel Animation, guys. And you guys out there in Junkie Nation, we can talk about it too. What's wrong with Marvel Animation? What's going on? Why is it sucking so bad? Is it just too homogenized? Is the wrong people in charge? Let's start with you, GQ. You got an opinion? Why is Marvel Animation so bad right now?
I mean, and you kind of, when you're leading, you kind of stated it. I mean, Marvel has already got TV on lock. They've already got movies on lock. So animation out. I mean, even like Jack Nicholson said in Mars Attacks, it's like we still got 2 out of 3, and that ain't bad. So I mean, it's like they already own, not own, but they already are basically running successful in the two most money making versions of things. TV and movies are always going to make more money than animation, always.
Mhm.
So animation just kind of like it gets stuck on the back burner, I think, with them. Even though they've got the most powerful, two of the most powerful animation houses in the world, it's like, come on now, Pixar. You know how like insane it would be if Disney said, "Hey, next Pixar movie is going to be a Marvel property." You know, how,
Mhm.
like
That'd be
excited
crazy.
I would be. Like that would
That'd
be
be
freaking
crazy.
awesome.
Man, I would
Right. Or
after the
like,
Incredibles.
because
I'm sorry.
didn't
Go ahead.
didn't Pixar do didn't Pixar do the Incredibles?
They did, and I was just about to bring that up when the Incredibles came out, and I saw that with my kids, and just watching it, I was like, oh my god, if Marvel, I said this is where the Fantastic Four should be. Fantastic Four should be a Pixar movie. That would be incredible. That would be an incredible movie for the Fantastic Four to be a Marvel movie, even a Spider-Man movie. Even though I know they're doing an animated Spider-Man movie, and I don't think it's going to be by Pixar, but still, I think Pixar doing a Marvel movie. We're waiting on it. Where is it? That kind of thing. Go ahead and finish your thought.
No, I just like I said, I think, and honestly, not even just leave it at Marvel. I mean, honestly, they should have Pixar do some Star Wars animation. I mean, this should just be. It's like you have the best of the best, in your wheelhouse. It's like you own ILM, you own Pixar, and you're Disney. So it's like, why aren't you guys doing like top notch animation stuff? And like I said, I don't think it's a priority for them right now. I think it's almost like they're making so much money. It's like they're almost kind of looking at it like, we got 2 out of 3 majors, so let's just keep doing what we're doing, which is unusual for a company like that to kind of rest on their laurels. But I don't know. It's really hard to say because outside of in Planet Hulk was pretty decent. In
Hmm.
Planet Hulk, obviously, with them having so many characters locked up that they can't touch, it made it so it's like it was kind of a shadow of what it should have been. So I mean, every now and again they have a couple of good ones, but DC Animation, when in the past 8 years, has been kicking their asses in that, with the
Hmm.
exception of Justice League versus Teen Titans, because I thought that was garbage.
Okay, decent enough. Couple of comments from the chat. Hooper Love says that of the shows that I mentioned, Ultimate Spider-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers Assemble, he says every kid that he knows really enjoys those shows, even when compared with Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Now, um, I I will agree that us as adults, we're a lot more discerning than children are. They're a lot easier to please. But I would like to think that the scale on which the writing took place for Earth's Mightiest Heroes was so much better than Avengers Assemble. That I would think that Avengers Assemble and Ultimate Spider-Man, I would think that it's kind of like a watered down product. It's not quite as good. Even Spectacular Spider-Man, even though it only had 2 very short seasons, it has always been better to me than Ultimate Spider-Man. Kahuna, what's your opinion on the state of Marvel animation, and where do you think it could be better? Well, is it just the writing? Is it the animation? Is it just that they're not really invested in it?
I think it's more of the writing. Um, I used to watch all the all those cartoons, and I even watch Avengers Assembles now and Ultimate Spider-Man. For the most part, I kind I like it. I mean, it's something to watch, but it's more of a they turned it into real kiddie like humor and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But I mean, I still enjoy watching it just for to see the characters
Uh-huh.
come in and how they're going to place them into the story, whatever.
Exactly.
Some of it is off the wall, but I think it's the writing that needs to change with Marvel. I mean, animation is cool. I mean, I would love to see a Pixar Marvel movie, though. I mean, or TV show that would be awesome. But yeah, I think it's the writing that has to do with it. Because, like you said, Mightiest Heroes was really good.
Hmm.
Took that off for I don't know for whatever reason, and then gave us the watered down, Avengers Assemble. And what is it now? Avengers Assemble, Ultron Revolution.
I think they're past the Ultron thing. Now,
I thought it
now,
was,
I'll give them this. They're bringing in a lot more characters. Like now, they got the Thunderbolts, the original Thunderbolts. Back when it was like Citizen V and Atlas and Songbird and them, and
yeah.
yeah, they're all in there now, which is kind of intriguing, but not enough to really make me want to watch.
Here's what I think they're doing, to be honest. I think, honestly, I mean, okay, true enough, animation, as we all know, for decades has been used to sell toys. That's always
Hmm.
been the main thing.
Hmm.
But I think what they're doing now is they're using this opportunity of like, okay, obviously we want kids to tell their parents to go see our new movies as they come out. So they're taking this time now to familiarize all these kids with all of these different characters and all of these different, you know, storylines and this and that and blah blah blah. So by the time the movies come around, it's that familiarity thing where it's like, oh dang, I just saw the cartoon about this. Now they're gonna make it into a movie. Mom, we got to go see that. So they're turning it into that. It's essentially brainwashing, which if it makes you money, do it. But it's it's so sad to see that you had a great show like Earth's Mightiest Heroes was on, great writing, cool storylines, interesting. But I guess it was just too teenage and too edgy, I guess. So they were like, look, we got to have the kids one so we can bring the kids in. The teenagers are probably going to be watching our movies by now. So I don't know. I think that's kind of where they lost it.
Okay. That's pretty good. Dr. Kuji, let me ask you, and I'm gonna jump off kind of on off of GQ's kind of topic there or his line. He says that
Yeah.
that they might have thought that Earth's Mightiest Heroes was a little too edgy for kids. Now, I watched Earth's Mightiest Heroes with my kids, and when it was on, they were in preteens. My son was like 8 or 9. Um, they all loved it. I didn't think they didn't think it was too edgy. Do you think that that's what they thought, or and it's just a cop out, or they just needed to make it uh, more simplistic for younger kids?
I don't think it was either one of those. I
Okay.
mean, if you remember what happened, they had the animation, they had the show. Disney bought the Marvel, and they killed it because it was not theirs. I'm pretty sure that's the reason why they did it. They don't care. They don't care about any of that stuff. If they want to own it, if they want to own the storylines, if they want to own, all that stuff, that you make it yours. You don't. You don't. If you got a whole bunch of money and you want somebody's land and their house is on top of that land, you buy the land. You can knock down a house. You're not going to move into their house. You're going to knock it down, build your own house because you got the money to do so. So I'm pretty sure that's more than likely the reason why they got rid of it. Personally, I would have liked them to say, okay, season 2 is ours. So you don't have to freaking like reestablish characters, start storylines over again, and all that other blah, blah, blah crap. But I think that's more than likely the reason. And it could be the second reason is just that the way we look at cartoons nowadays, we look for some kind of substance to it that a lot of Marvel animation apparently is not putting in there. And it could be a cohesive story. It could be just likable characters. Maybe there's not enough likable characters. Maybe they are a little bit too silly. Because I tried to watch Guardians of the Galaxy and I watched probably 2 episodes and I haven't gone back. And I don't want to go back. And I have
That
not
shit is
watched
like real silly.
yeah. I haven't even watched the new Avengers one, whatever the heck. I couldn't get into that one
Avengers
either.
Assemble. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love animated stuff. I like cartoons. I have no problem going back watching some old cartoons. Granted, there's some old cartoons that I just thought I liked, and when I was a kid, I liked them. I watch them now. I just
They
don't
didn't
like
age
them.
well. They didn't
Yeah.
age well at all.
So I mean, it probably has something to do with the writing. Um, I think what it has to do is because, as we all know, in comic book land and world, there's many different universes. And for whatever reason, DC stuck with one universe up until when they started doing the new, I don't know, not the new 52, maybe it's the new 52
Yeah, it
movie,
is. Yeah, yeah,
but
it
it's
is.
still in the same universe where
Mhm.
Marvel, like you don't know what the hell's going on. You got one Spider-Man here, another Spider-Man there, one Avengers here, Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody crosses over in anything. What the heck is going on? I have no idea. There you go.
Okay.
Well, hold on. There was some crossover though, because there was an Iron Man. Must have been an Avengers episode that I saw where Tony Stark shows up with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I mean,
One of
obviously,
the newer ones.
well, they
Yeah.
did it right before the movie came out. So I mean, it was or right after the movie came out. It was like right around the same time Guardians of the Galaxy dropped. So
I stand corrected.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, but you know why they did it. It was like,
Yeah.
hey, the movie's out. Boom, here you go. Here's some, some characters from the movie on your cartoon show.
Yeah, I remember that. I think it was Avengers Assemble.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like I said, it gives them opportunities to do stuff that obviously will be extremely expensive to do on film, but it's still you can have both, and I think that's where, especially with the resources that Disney has, they could easily have both. They could, set aside, an animation team to do more DC DC animated type stuff, more mature, more serious toned or whatever for like DVD and Blu-ray releases, and then they could turn around and for the Saturday morning or whatever it is called now division, keep doing the stuff to introduce the younger crowd to these different characters. But like for example, when I was looking at some of the stuff they used to have, like Hulk Agents of Smash, like that was the dumbest stuff.
God, that
I
was
refuse
I'm
to
sitting
watch
there
that.
I
refuse
didn't
to
even
watch
bother
that.
trying to watch that.
I'm sitting there watching, and I'm like, you guys are trying so hard to give Hulk a show, and it's the same thing every single episode. It's just like, this is dumb. Like, stop it. It's just. So again, it goes back to, like, for a little kid, that show was probably great. They probably loved it. Hulk is breaking stuff and doing things, and he's talking and all this other stuff. But for me,
Said he's
no.
talking.
Right. I'm just like, no. I was sitting there like, why is this even a thing? And it was that and Avengers, I guess, used to come on back to back. I'm like, wow. And it's
Okay.
sad that I haven't even seen Guardians of the Galaxy. But
No, it's not sad. You really
No,
are
you don't
not
want to
missing
see that.
anything. You
Yeah.
don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to get that. Now, there's report after report that a lot of people want to attribute the blame to Jeph Loeb, who is the head of, or who was the head of animation. He has been relieved of his duties as of February 2016. Now, people have been calling for his head for years. He was overall all TV, so he oversaw all the animation products. He was the one that killed Spectacular Spider-Man when it was like really starting to get good. He championed Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes until he couldn't champion it anymore. Screw Reality Bub, hey, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the show. Give us a follow if you haven't given us a follow already. We're talking the suckiness of Marvel animation. We hope you concur. In any case, other people put the blame squarely on just Disney's shoulders and the Disney. Let me see if I can make this into the colloquialism that they like to use. The Disneyfication of animation, and that they just want to make everything completely child friendly. Do you buy that, GQ, and guys? Do you buy that at all?
I personally don't, because Pulp Fiction is a Disney movie. So Disney doesn't pussify or Disneyfy anything. Disney loves making money. That's what they do first and foremost.
All right.
So it's like, yes, they might be dumbing it down, but again, the only reason that they would dumb that stuff down is if you walk into, and this is where I think that their selling toys thing is working, because yes, we're not seeing a lot of stuff in the retail outlets, Targets and Toys R Us's and blah blah blah. Downtown Disney in Anaheim, California, there is so much Marvel, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, just everything merchandise flying off the shelves. So again, it's their park. They've already got you paying $80 a ticket to get in, and they're still selling you a Star-Lord plushie for another $30. So they're making money hand over fist, regardless of whether we're seeing it directly in our retail outlets or not. It's again, it goes back to, like the Joker said, it's all part of the plan. So I mean, honestly, they're we might not be seeing the fruits of their labor, so to speak, but I'm very sure that their animation is still continuing the way it is because they're making way more money on that aspect than any of us can fathom. That's the only way I can look at it, because otherwise it's like, why are you putting out these crap cartoons
Exactly.
if you're not making any money on it? So they're obviously making money on it on that end, probably the Disney parks and every other Disney store in the world.
Datakuji, do you think this is a Disneyfication problem, or is it just a general problem?
Well, dude, before Disney owned Marvel, the Marvel shows kind of suck still. I mean, you had if you were to go, and I'm coming back to this stuff because you got to compare it to something.
Mm-hmm.
And being the fact that we're not going to talk Image because what you had Wildcats. We're going to
Wildcats
talk
and
about
Savage Dragon. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about DC. If you go, down the list of DC shows versus Marvel shows, DC's going to win out. Batman animated series came on the exact same time frame as X-Men, and though the two were different, Batman to me never got bad.
Never.
X-Men
it was great writing. Bad. Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
great writing.
It was great writing. So I don't think it's a Disneyfication of the stuff. They're kind of just the same not mantra. What am I thinking of? The same old. It's just they are catering to kids. They probably want to sell toys. They're not writing it with any substance because kids don't need the substance. They're looking at the flashy visuals. They're looking at what toys their moms and fathers wanted to buy them. And it's recognizable characters from movies that they have saw and they like. So it doesn't have to be deep, and it's not going to be deep because I think they're just not trying to write for the mature crowd. And when they do write for the mature crowd, for the straight to DVD or home video, it's still just not as good as the DC stuff. Now, granted, the last few DC things that were coming out weren't that good either. So, like, maybe it's starting to affect them too, but maybe we just starting to get jaded. Now, I don't think I am.
Well, I guess there maybe could be something a little bit to that. But let's talk a little bit about where would you rather see it? Would you rather them just focus on the direct to animations, direct to video, or lack of better term, direct to video stuff, instead of it being on broadcast? Let the kids have their watered down TV stuff. Should they focus more on like the direct adaptations? Because we can all agree, I think that Hulk versus was probably the best thing they ever did. That stands toe to toe with some of the really best DC stuff. That Hulk versus Wolverine, the Hulk versus Thor thing was really good. Awesome,
and it was really good. So and you just hit the nail on the head that I didn't even think of it. One of the reasons, and not counting Batman animated series because that was all original stuff. Regardless, the writing was real good. And same thing goes for the Justice League and so on. But what they've been doing on the straight to video front is taking their comic books and animating them into movies. And that's something that I personally like because I don't read a lot of the comic books as much as I would like to. I just don't. So I can sit down for an hour and 10 minutes, hour and a half, or whatever, how long they have it, and watch it and somewhat get the same feel. And Marvel does not do that, from my understanding, at all. And I'm pretty sure they had some really good storylines in the comic books that they could definitely do. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, that Marvel still owns the animation rights to X-Men and all that other stuff. So what's stopping them from animating the Phoenix Saga, how it happened, or animating whatever great storyline that they had, just taking it from, and I'm not talking about do a stupid motion comic. I'm talking about you got the storyboard in the comic book, delete the stuff that doesn't need to be deleted, put a good movie together based off of that story. What's stopping them from doing it? Because from my understanding, Killing Joke is coming out this year, and that's what they're doing. They did it with the not Grant Morrison, what's that guy's name that did the old Batman?
Bruce Timm.
Was it Bruce Timm? Where
yes,
he had old Batman? They did that with that. They just took the comic book.
You're talking about Frank Miller. That's who you're
Frank Miller. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why DC's animation is so good is because you have the great storylines and they just animated it. They didn't have to create anything new. They didn't have to try, hey, I got an idea for this. Let me write this down and try to sell it to them. They got hundreds of stories. All they got to do is take it and do it.
I think part of what you're running into, though, is because in animation, there are some characters that they cannot use. I'm sorry, Planet Hulk had to change out Silver Surfer with Beta Ray Bill. So I think there's probably licensing issues across some of those storylines that they just don't even want to bother with. Because you got to remember back if you look back in the comics, some of the best story arcs are usually X-Men books.
Mm-hmm.
They just were like true enough. You got Infinity Gauntlet, which was the whole daggone universe, but a lot of the really good like self-contained X-Men books.
Yeah, they were X-Men, and that's granted, but I thought that Marvel still had the animation rights to the X-Men.
I don't think they
movie
did.
rights were with Fox, because I believe there's two different. And I'm not 100% sure, but I could have sworn that one is for one and one is for the other one. Because, like, for example, there's been X-Men games coming out, and I don't think Fox has their names on them at all. Like the ones that came out for 360 and all that other stuff, the Ultimate Alliance or whatnot. So I think, depending on the medium, Marvel might still containerize now. I don't know if that's fact or not. And anybody out there in Junkie Nation, if you guys know it, just let us know. But I mean, if it's not, why not do it? If it is, okay, I understand. But if it's not, just I mean, that'll get you your good animation right there. Mm-hmm. And that's not counting the TV series, because screw the TV series. They lost. You lost on TV series. You can't come up with anything that's original and new. You're not gonna do a Batman animated series, despite what Krusty says. You're not gonna do a Batman animated series. Come up with original good animation that they put it on prime time back in the 90s. What outside of the Simpsons? What was prime time?
Mm-hmm. That's because that show was awesome, dude.
Good. Prime time.
That is.
Let me bust in just a real quick. Marvel does own the TV animation rights to the X-Men and these other characters that they sold off. They just don't own the movie rights to those characters, but they still own the animation rights. Please continue.
Well, they need to stop bullshitting.
Stop all this bullshit. Yeah.
Can't really say it any better than that. They need to get off their butts on that one.
Mm-hmm. No, they do. They absolutely do.
Yeah, but I think I agree with GQ with what he said, that I think a lot of their concentration is basically on the movies right now. That's that's what's popping, and that's what it seems like where all their attention is going to.
I think. Well, here's what it is, and this is why I say that. If you look at the return on investment, movies kill animation every single time. There is, with the exception of Pixar, because that's what they do. I'm sorry, a studio is going to have to put their efforts into their movies, and all of these Marvel movies are tentpoles. Like every single one of them is that good, where they're just making money hand over fist, and it's like a lot of money and time and effort into an animation. Okay, you're not releasing it in theaters, so
you're not gonna.
You better hope that them. Right.
You're 100% right, because I'm looking on the wiki, and it's showing the direct-to-video things, and they have, quite a few of them, and they've made some pretty decent, but not one of them has sold over 1 million units. They've all grossed more than $1 million. The top grossing one is Ultimate Avengers 2, which is like $7.8 million.
That thing was terrible.
Yeah, and that was $7.8 million, and that's just all direct to video. So,
and think about how much it probably costs them to actually do it. Voice cast, pay the animators, package it, market it, sell it. It's like you're probably looking at $1 million plus, budget wise. Maybe who knows, maybe even a little bit more. And it's like, okay, you basically made back $5 million or so, versus you put 125 to 200 million into, or however much Civil War costs, you're about to make $1 billion back, or make $1 billion. So, which would you rather do?
And that's easy, but you know what's hilarious? If you look at DC's their performances, out of all the ones that are on here, Superman Doomsday grossed $12 million. And then the next one after that is Public Enemies. It's $10 million. Red Hood, $10 million. So that's pretty good for straight to video.
Yeah, no doubt.
But again, it's not doing movie numbers. It makes me wonder, would it have done way better had they put it in the movie theater? And I get why they don't, because that one sequel, what was it called? Mask of the Phantasm?
Mm-hmm.
Bomb. Big time. As much as we all like
even though it was awesome, it was awesome. But
yeah, and I think that it's a different mindset. Because as we all know, animated features in Japan, that's big news. That's big money. They make big time money on that kind of stuff. Over here, they still view them as just stuff for kids, which is fine. I mean, that doesn't mean that it couldn't work. It just won't last very long, because I know they put some Dragon Ball movies in the theaters. Just 1 second, and I know they put some Dragon Ball movies in the theaters. They don't stay in there very long. They're like maybe not even an entire week in the theaters. They last. Yu-Gi-Oh movies have been in the theaters, but those are just like the breakout from the norms. The Marvel hasn't crossed that threshold. Go ahead, GQ.
No, I think but here's the thing. I think Phantasm. Okay, looking back, that was during the time when everybody had everything was film projectors and blah blah blah. So you had to physically send out reels to all these different theaters. Nowadays, it's just you're sending a file.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe that's something that they could consider. It's like, okay, yes, we still have to pay the theaters for the run, but you set it up for a limited theatrical run just as a test. Like, for example, if Under Red Hood came out in theaters, we all would have went to see that in theaters. Public Enemies, I would want to see that in the theater. Like, there's a lot of the DC movies that are just good. Like, yeah, I would definitely go to the theater to sit in and see it on the big screen, because it'd be cool. Yes, we could easily turn right around and get the Blu-ray digital download or whatever. But there's something about seeing some of that stuff on the big screen. It's a cool experience. Granted, if they don't recoup their money on that, or whatever, the theatrical rental or whatever you want to call it, doesn't pan out, then yes, it's a failed thing, but you're still going to get some money sales too, though. It's hard to say on that one, because neither major Warner Brothers nor Disney owns any chain of theaters, because if they did, that would be their perfect avenue to be like, we're going to put some of these in the movies. Boom, here you go.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with that.
That's what Disney needs to do next. They need to buy AMC or something. I don't know.
I was just gonna say that. I was like, that doesn't sound like it's too far away.
Yeah, it's not like they don't have the money to do it, man. They could do it if they wanted to.
Could you imagine that if a major studio owned oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That would mean that the competition would have to pay them to show their movies. I'm sorry.
Cash money.
That would be like if I was in charge of it, that would be my next goal. But like, yeah, we're gonna buy out a whole chain of theaters.
Like, what? Who does that?
Dude, that would be odd. Could you be like, yeah, every other studio will be coming over to you, please, sir, can we have some screens? I mean,
Exactly.
like, it would literally be like Les Miserables.
Exactly,
like
man.
Miserables for like every movie they want to release.
Exactly.
Dude, that would be awesome.
Man, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, it would.
They'll be throwing out those little sack of gold coins.
Exactly.
I think it'd be funny.
Yeah, it would be funny, but it's been a great discussion, guys. Thank you for all your input and your thoughts on why Marvel Animation is so sucky. Now, we'll leave it up to you, Junkie Nation, whether we're just being old and stodgy and just we're overthinking this thing. Personally, I don't think we are. We're all consumers. And this is the stuff that we love, and we understand that they're not necessarily making it for us, but damn it, I'm a parent. I want my kids to enjoy something that I would enjoy. I want them to feel good that they're getting enrichment or enjoyment or fulfillment out of anything that they're consuming. I mean, I would want them to watch Batman the Animated Series before I'd want them to watch Beware the Batman. I'd want them to watch Superman the Animated Series before I'd let them watch Super Friends or something like that. Justice League would be like required viewing. Uh, but Marvel doesn't have that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, they had Hulk versus, but that's like a flash in the pan. Everything else is like, it's not good. So I don't think that we're necessarily overreacting. We just want a better product for our money. That's all. Even if it is for our kids. So for the Great Datakuji, for Kahuna, for GQ, I'm Kenshiro. Quick notes. Got 4 days left to enter in our Civil War contest. You can find all the details on our Facebook fan page, which is facebook.com/culturejunkiesnet. You should also keep an eye out on Twitter for any show updates that we gotta talk about. I think tomorrow we're going to be debating a very good topic on game, something that we came up with that is going to be really, really interesting. So I want you guys to chime in on that, and a couple other things that I want you to find us on Facebook and kind of discuss as far as some new events that we kind of want to try and put together and do. What should be the next movie? We want to avoid any more hardcore Henrys in our future. Yeah. So hop on over to Facebook. Find us, follow us. We'll love you for it. For all the guys, as I said before, I'm Kishiro. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Everybody.
Good night, everybody.